Can't get enough of the Miscellaneous Podcast, or you think you missed out on some of the Miscellaneous Podcasts, head on over to the miscellaneouspodcast.org. Ooh, that's a lot of miscellaneous. We have our shop there, so you can help support the show. We have coffee mugs, cases, pillows. It's pretty cool. T-shirts, all that good stuff. And from there, you can see our Discord, so you can get on there. So you can see all the funny pictures and stupid videos we put up there. We have our Twitter. We have our Twitch. So when we do a live, just go straight to the website and you can see the live show, raw and unedited. It's kind of, a little humorous. But all that good stuff. And you get to see all the other episodes from there, so you can play whatever you want. Please, enjoy, indulge. That's miscellaneouspodcast.org.
Shut up, Craig.
So you guys watch Pet Sematary?
Yeah, the new one.
Was it as bad as the first one?
It was okay.
What was the big difference? It
was in HD. But we're good. We made it past it. We can forget about it.
Yeah. I hate talking about fucking coronavirus. It's the only fucking thing that's going on right now.
So I'm technically an essential job, so guess who gets to go to work tomorrow?
You do too, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about a paycheck coming in.
No, I don't. But I'm also salary, so I shouldn't have to worry about that anyways. But
yeah, and my brother works in a lab, so he's a geneticist, and I guess someone in his building tested positive for it. Well, he's quarantined at home. He has all the symptoms. Trouble breathing. He doesn't have a fever, but he's legit sick. And like he's just sitting at home, and when he needs food, my mom drives over there, leaves it on the porch, and then just texts him, and he opens the door and grabs the food. That's
interesting, because the whole thing about this to me, and I don't want to downplay it, because those people that are getting sick, it sucks for them because they're dealing with something really terrible. But this whole time I've been like, man, all these cases popping up, and I don't know a single person that knows anybody that has it.
Right. Well, I think, they're coming out with all these numbers. Well, obviously, you're only coming out with those numbers because you have the test. Well, right. Can you imagine how many people out there? Of course, they're not going to. Even if I fell sick right now, I'm not going to the hospital to get tested. I'm just going to assume either I have it or I don't.
Right.
And not fucking worry about it.
Write it out.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a very large percentage of the population already has it.
My wife was sick. I shit you not, it's probably about a month ago now, or at the start of this month, and we went to the doctor. She tested negative for all types of flu, but had all the symptoms of coronavirus. We think she had it because for 2 weeks she was like crap, but she was still going to work and stuff after being home for like 4 days straight.
Yeah, and I helped my brother move because he had the flu the day before. I helped him move, and all this corona stuff was just starting to come out, stay at home and everything like that. And he had been throwing up the day before. He felt better. I helped him move, and all of a sudden now he has it, and now he has a coworker that tested positive. But who knows? I could have it, and I just don't have symptoms yet.
I have a conspiracy theory. I'll text you once we get done, or I'll text it to you in the morning. But it's.
Oh, let's talk about it.
I'll read it then, because it's super long. It's super long. That's why I was going to say.
I don't have a bedtime.
I do, but it's only because I don't.
You're right. When you come into bed, honey, I don't have to go to bed because you go to bed.
Long story short, this is a gigantic. It was planned. Coronavirus is real, but it was released by Trump in this large scheme to get a bunch of people in that whole Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein group arrested and brought to justice, with a total of like 154,000 arrests that are going to be happening while everybody's in quarantine.
You think?
It's seriously, reading it will explain it a lot. I'm just going to read it. It's long, but.
Okay. And then once you're, and then definitely text me later. That's crazy.
Okay. This is obviously, for those that listen, this is all speculation. It's a conspiracy theory. This was sent to me, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. It was sent to me Thursday. It's called the Great CoverUp of 2020. Yesterday morning at 4:30 a.m., Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was served a criminal indictment by the U.S. for corporate and financial crimes. Media owners were instructed to brainwash everyone that Trudeau and his wife have the coronavirus and that they won't be leaving their house for a while. Tom Hanks was arrested a little over 48 hours ago for pedophilia, and he is currently being kept in a hotel room in Australia, refusing to fly back to the U.S. The next celebrity arrest would be Celine Dion, Madonna, Charles Barkley, and Kevin Spacey. All will claim coronavirus infections. Italy's reports have been completely shut down. Airports, have been completely shut down as over 80 Vatican and financial officials have been served the same criminal indictments for financial crime, pedophilia, child trafficking, and sex abuse. United Emirates have completed mass arrests of their own royal family and affiliates. Convicted Hollywood rapist Harvey Weinstein agreed to a deal in exchange for his testimony against hundreds of top Hollywood celebrities and their involvement in the drug business, pedophilia, and child trafficking. Instead of a 55-year sentence, he only received a 23-year sentence. In exchange, he provided testimonies against some of the biggest and most powerful names, including Prince Andrew, former President Bill Clinton, former Vice President Joe Biden, Tom Hanks, Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, Quentin Tarantino, Charlie Sheen, Bob Saget, Kevin Spacey, John Travolta, Steven Spielberg, Podesta, and a few sex trafficking clubs, and hundreds more who are all directly involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second. After hearing that today, Harvey Weinstein is reportedly to be showing symptoms or has tested positive for the coronavirus today. Jeffrey Epstein was similarly allowed to make a deal and have his suicide in prison faked in exchange for his testimony. CEOs of some major world corporations have been indicted, arrested, and some have been forced to resign all in the last 30 to 60 days, such as CEOs of the NBA, Harley-Davidson, the Bill Gates Foundation, Intel, McDonald's, Caesar Awards, and Disney, the Vatican chief of police, etc. Approximately 700 to 800 more resignations are coming in the next 3 months. The lab-created coronavirus was a cover-up for the mass mandatory vaccination agenda. Now it has become the biggest covert U.S. intelligence operation that the world has ever seen. This mass 158,000 arrest operation will remove and capture the biggest evil and corrupted politicians, celebrities, and CEOs, including global elites and bankers such as George Soros, UN officials, and the founders of Greta Inc. President Trump will win the 2020 elections, and arrests of former U.S. presidents will occur in early 2021. All major arrests will be portrayed by the media as accidental or as conspiracy theories. All arrested individuals will be given Rommel death, meaning that they will have a choice between their death being portrayed to the public as suicide or an accidental death in return for assurances that his or her reputation will remain intact. Or alternatively, they can choose to face a criminal trial that will result in public disgrace. Some of the top religious leaders will be arrested or forced to resign, and some will suddenly get sick. The Vatican will be first, and the Pope will be removed in 2020. Production of human-extracted adrenochrome will be revealed. I don't know what that is, so don't ask me. And Hollywood and the Vatican will be exposed as being directly responsible for that. Coming up, there will be a 2-month complete shutdown of the world's most common operations, such as schools, the stock exchange, some banks, airports, shipping, travel, events, galas, expos, sports games, sport championships, music award ceremonies, NBA, NHL, baseball games, and ship cruises. There will be food shortages and staged electricity power loss. Gas prices will go down, food costs will go up, insurance will go up, gold and silver stocks will fall, and many corporations will either go bankrupt or take a significant financial loss, such as in the case of what's about to happen to Air Canada, Disney, and Coca-Cola. Welcome to the Great Awakening. What's about to happen this summer and fall will change the world's timeline.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's just crazy to me that
Fucking wild, isn't it?
It is. Well, I watched this because they were talking about H1N1 about a year ago, and there was a guy who did a TED Talk, and there was a guy. This guy was involved with like the CIA, and he was discussing how vaccinations, not as mind control, but when you vaccinate somebody, like the flu changes, it'll make small changes in DNA. So, and they're fairly quick. It's almost like evolving someone's behavior. So you can do like behavior control, but it's over a long period of time with these
Right.
vaccinations. So he did this TED talk, and then when he presented it to a bunch of doctors, I can't remember what university it was recorded, I think in like 2004, and somebody leaked it. But he had all the evidence to show that when you administer these vaccinations, you can tweak someone's DNA, like to either be submissive or, basically you can alter the traits of the person. So, but no, that's crazy. But why would you do it with a vaccine? 150,000 arrests,
dude. If even an eighth of that is true, I will be a happy camper. And
well, and
if all of it's true, then Trump could be king of America for the rest of his life, for all I care.
But when you bring up that whole Tom Hanks thing, well, one, where's the evidence of that? I mean, I know he's in Australia, but who's to say he's under arrest?
Well, who's to say? Right, exactly. But it's just crazy to think that these celebrities are like, obviously it's a gigantic conspiracy theory. But when you think about it, he's one of the richest men in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well,
all these people that are mentioned in somewhere or another are connected to Jeffrey Epstein or Harvey Weinstein, who are all.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and the same thing with 9/11. It's if you create a panic, people are almost going to believe anything you want them to, and for them to do it on a global scale, I wouldn't. Where'd Paul go?
I don't know. He was on his phone, so I think.
Oh, okay, there. But for them to do it on a global scale, I mean, that's just insane.
It being global, I doubt, is the part to me that is kind of far-fetched, but it being an American or North American thing where Trump is going after all these people, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. Because, I mean, think about it. He's not an idiot, despite what many people believe him to be. And as president, I'm sure you can get just about anybody you want to do some private investigation for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, he's definitely not an idiot. I mean, the guy went from being an entertainer, and he's got a good group of people that can manipulate, and spin everything to his benefit. I mean, the guy became president, right. And he's talking about, when the guy's talking about grabbing pussies and this and that, and he still gets elected. Come on.
In every man in the world has said something like that at some point in their life. It's locker room talk.
Right, exactly.
Like, does it make it right? No, but it's not stuff that
doesn't make it not true.
Locker room.
Right.
I mean, that's the point. And I don't know your political beliefs. I don't know anybody else's political beliefs. I voted for Trump, and I think he's doing a hell of a job.
I don't disagree. I mean, considering how well the economy was doing. Right. Yeah, you might not like him as a person. I actually didn't vote last time because I already knew he was going to win, first of all, and I didn't like Hillary either. So, but I have to give the guy credit.
Right, and it's sad that the presidential election has become something where it's like you got to pick the lesser of two evils. But I think he's doing. Ooh, that's a good one, Paul. I think he's doing a damn good job. And so far, from what I've seen, people that I've talked to that don't people that don't support him are typically like, oh well, he's orange and has bad hair. And
right, that's not an argument. Well, so with this whole thing, I'm concerned not that that politicians are the ones kind of deciding, because they all have an interest in, well, they want the economy to do well, this and that. So I don't know who to believe. All these news sources are saying one thing. I understand the politicians have to, one, they need to get this money out to these people who aren't getting anything, can't pay their bills.
Right.
But at the same time, we've never dealt with this before. I can't tell you what we should do. So that's why we elected him. He'll figure it out. We just got to work together at this point.
Here's my thing for the people at home that don't know what to do or don't know obviously I can't tell you what to do in your financial situation if you are one of these people suffering from the fact that you've been let go or you can't get paid right now. But the best thing for you to do is do what you can to take care of your family. Stay home because, some people do have this virus. It's obviously a real thing. Stay home. Don't spread it. That's the best thing you can do. Wash your goddamn hands like you just ate crawfish and you have to go to the bathroom, and take care of your family. That's the only thing you can do.
Well, and the thing you just brought up, the fact that Harvey Weinstein just tested positive for corona. So I pulled it up, and sure enough, he did.
Yeah.
It
Happening.
reminds me kind of. Did you ever hear that conspiracy about with JFK and kind of where essentially you got, Cuba and that whole thing. Well, there was a doctor in the 60s. It was a woman. She came up. I can't remember her name. I wish I had this info in front of me, but she came up with a way to basically give somebody cancer as a virus. So you kind of weaponize it. You don't just slowly introduce it, and you could actually inject it into somebody and give them cancer. Well, this woman,
it was 1960s. It was Dr. Mary's monkey or something like that.
yeah. Well, she got killed right. Was it before or after Kennedy? Because she came out with it, and
I think it was before or after. Yeah, but it was weird how she died too.
Yeah, she died in her apartment, and Jack Ruby apparently had some knowledge of this, and also E. Howard Hunt. Now, E. Howard Hunt on his deathbed confessed to being a part of the crew that killed JFK. Do you know who E. Howard Hunt was to Nixon? He was one of the guys. He was one of the guys that broke into the Watergate Hotel. E. Howard Hunt. So E. Howard Hunt broke into the Watergate, had information on JFK. So after Watergate, not only did E. Howard Hunt not go to prison, they gave him $2 million to shut the fuck up about the Kennedy thing. So he didn't go to prison. So anyway, the woman who brought up found a way to like weaponize cancer, she dies. Jack Ruby says he's going to talk. All of a sudden, I think it was maybe within a couple months of him saying that if he wasn't given what he wanted, that he was going to talk, bam, he's got cancer.
That's crazy.
But yeah, they found a way to inject it into somebody, and then bam, and it's aggressive cancer. It's not the kind, that's going to sit and wait and kill you.
So that was how Dr. Mary Sherman was found in her house, her apartment.
Wow, burned.
And this is the woman that created the virus or the cancer, right?
That's crazy.
They took a whole bunch of shit from her apartment. I think they said she was. I didn't know about the burning part. I know she was shot, I think.
Yeah, it was messed up. If you guys want, not to shamelessly promote the Miscellaneous podcast, but look for the JFK conspiracy episode. We talk all about this stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's what this should be. Every Sunday we get together and talk conspiracy theories.
Oh my God, I would love it.
Well, I've got a book that I actually want to talk about at some point, like the Franklin cover-up of the Franklin credit union.
Yeah.
Do you remember that in the 80s?
I mean, I wasn't alive for it, so.
Well, no, it's like Epstein. It's like Epstein shit on steroids.
Nice.
I've got a whole.
Send me the name of the book. I'll get the book and read it while I'm in my corner at work, and we can talk about it.
It's a long fucking book, but essentially what it's about, it has to do with like Boys Town. I think Boys Town's in Nebraska, and
no way, Boys Town of America.
Yeah. So what they would do was they would get so. The Franklin Credit Union was run by this guy named Larry King. Not that Larry King is a black guy. So he was also part of the Republican Party at the National Republican Convention. He sang like the national anthem and shit. Well, he was the Jeffrey Epstein of the 80s. So what they would do is they would take kids from like the streets, kids that no one's going to miss. Homeless shelters, foster homes, get them hooked on drugs, and then just start shipping them out to all these politicians. And that credit union ended up falling apart. All these witnesses came forward, but George Bush Sr. was involved in a lot of this. Not, I don't think messing with kids, but basically getting people, on video doing shit so they could be blackmailed. But I'll send you the book, or I'll send you a picture of the book. It's fucking insane. Insane.
I got a name for a conspiracy podcast. The Okay But What If podcast.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
right, hey guys, thanks for letting me come on your show for a little bit. Just hit me up later, but I gotta head back out. We're doing all the family stuff. Heading over to see Mama now.
All right, man.
Have fun, man.
I know, I just hopped in.
No, that's good. I appreciate you sending those pictures because I couldn't remember that lady's name.
Yeah, it was messed up. All right, check out the JFK Conspiracy. Shameless plug. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, Paulie. I don't know why Paulie's shamelessly plugging his stuff. This is going on his podcast anyway.
Right. When I was on the phone with him earlier, he's like, yeah, just when you're done, just send me the recording. I said, okay.